right, let's learn how to solder. So there are 3 types of soldering and 3 techniques. So our types of solder are in our drawers. Recognized by the type, so hard solder is labeled, and it's a sheet solder that we use in our studio. And then we have a medium solder and an easy solder. And the reason jewelers have different types of solder is because they melt it at different temperatures. So hard solder at the highest, medium a little bit lower, and easy even lower than that. And then the types of soldering we do is called chip, pick, and sweat. So we'll go through all of those. What I always do, no matter what, is it's a good habit is to always start with hard solder, because I never know, like I might change my mind if I want to add more elements to my piece, but I'm going to just start with hard solder. So I have that ready to go, and it's really important that everything is clean. So there are rules of soldering. So clean, meaning your solder and your workpiece. So I'm going to use this workpiece and these 2 just to kind of show you chip technique. So those have to be clean. My solder has to be clean, so I use a little Scotch-Brite and I come in. And then my pro tip is I cut my chips into the lid. So I'll go up, little slits that way, and then I turn and I cut little chips into the lid about that size. That way they don't go flying all over. Okay, so those are ready for me to go. And then I made sure I have a good fit, so I'm making a little ring band. So what that means is I don't want to be able to see light through it. And just for fun, I'm going to come in and make sure that join is nice and clean. And then I'm going to solder this way. You could also solder this way, but just joining 2 pieces of metal. So I'm going to make sure those edges are clean. Okay, so now what I need is the stuff called flux, and it is right here on our work trays. It's a paste flux that we use, and there's brushes in the crock pot there, and that is distilled water, so I don't want to contaminate the flux at all, so I don't use tap water. So I'm going to put some flux on that joint. And I'll put some flux on this joint. And how I set up is just always about making myself comfortable. So there's a lot of movement there that could be a little stressful. So I could also do that if I wanted, or I could grab a 3rd arm to help hold my piece up. So it doesn't move on me. And then I grab my chips of solder, and I put the chip of solder right on the seam. I'll use about 2 on that one. Grab my torch, and all the tools you'll need, as you know, are in here. So my solder shears are in here. I don't use wire cutters or regular scissors. There's tweezers, and then this guy's called a solder pick, and I like to always have it in my dominant hand in case I need to move something around. They do get kind of grubby, and I'm in the habit of, on the charcoal block here, this is just basically how you clean it up. So that works really nice. Okay, there we go. So nice neutral flame. So everyone is kind of different. Some jewelers will put flux on and then dehydrate it and then put their chips of solder. I like to flux and then put my chips of solder because if I heat it up, my metal's hot and I don't want to burn myself. So I'm just mindful right away. I'm gonna come in and heat up the area and be ready in case any of those chips decide to move around. And what I'm looking for is my flux to change colors. So it's gonna turn white. So once it turns white, I know that my solder is gonna pretty much stay put unless I heat in weird places. And then clear, and then soon after it flows. The last rule of soldering is equal heat. So what that means is equal heat on both sides of your metal. And it's the metal that melts the solder. So then I also use the pick to kind of spread it around. So that piece is done. You can get that out of my way and put it on a still surface to cool. So now I can do our band, simple ring band. Same thing, so heat up that environment. White, clear, back and forth, equal heat. And that went really well. I'm done with that. I'll cool it off and I'll pickle those two guys for about 2 to... All right, let's talk about pick soldering. So pick soldering is when I use the solder pick and I'm gonna actually melt my solder into a ball and pick it up with the solder pick and place my solder wherever I want to. And it's a really good type of soldering to have in your tool belt. Sometimes things will go awry and you can quickly pick up solder and put it in place, or if you are making chain or some detailed things. So here what I did is just made a simple band out of brass wire. Again, same rules, good fit and clean. So I filed that down and I don't want to be able to see light through it. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to grab some flux again and put it on that join. And then I have options. I can like have it up this way or down that way. So we'll just do, let's do that, as you can see. And I'm gonna grab hard solder again, just because it's notoriously what I start with. So I have my chips that I cut from earlier. And I'll do a couple just so you can see the melting into the balls. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is melt that solder into a ball, which is really great. And I'll do this one again just so you can see how that works. And then the best way to do this is put your pick behind your solder ball and the fire in front, and come in and pick up your solder. So now I'm in control of where this is going to go. So what I'm going to do is heat up my workpiece, and I don't have my solder close to it, and I'm going to watch the flux. It's going to turn white, clear, and start getting dirty, and I'm going to drop in that solder right where I want it, and it'll melt perfectly. Let's see the other side. Yeah, looks good. So again, heat in the front, pick her up. If I had to solder over here, which I don't, but just so you can see how that goes. Heat it up, drop your solder where you need it. Okay, all right, last type of soldering technique is called sweat soldering, and when I use that is basically when I have overlay or I have to pick up a finding really quick and melt, and I pre-melt solder to whatever I'm overlaying or the smaller piece that I want to. So maybe I'll have that ready to go. So I want to solder a disc onto this piece of brass. And the rule of thumb is to usually pre-melt the solder to the smaller top, most decorative piece most of the time. But again, you know, think it through and make sure that that's all correct. So I'm going to follow that rule. So I have this little disc. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to make sure that my brass where I want to solder this on is clean and ready to go. Okay, and I am just grabbing clean hard solder again. This is the back side of this piece. Do little chips of solder. On there, and then, okay. So my flux and my chips of solder, and what I'm going to do here is pre-melt that solder on the back of that disc. So again, watching my flux. Dance party. It's clear, dirty, starts to flow, and then you can use your pick to kind of spread your solder around. And then what I'm going to do now is let that cool, and since it's a pretty good size piece, I'm going to put it in the pickle. So I already have one that I did earlier that was in the pickle. So that's solder. And the way sweat soldering works is I'm just going to remelt that solder. That way I have control of where it's going to go. So on this piece, so it's nice and clean, put some more flux. I'm going to put it here. On this piece, it'll be wise for me to have it on that top piece, because when solder flows again, it'll flow and stop at the closest edge. So I won't have a huge mess on my brass that I have to clean up. So that's one reason that we like to use that. And if I can, I'm going to use the tweezers or the third arm to hang on to it. That way I can get underneath, because that brass is a bigger piece, and in order for solder to melt, both pieces of metal have to get to the temperature equally, or simultaneously, I should say. So that will be a good way. I can also go up here on the tripod and heat from below. I'll only do that when this isn't an option, because this is steel and it's going to rob a lot of heat and take me a while. So I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. All right. Okay, heating from below, taking it easy. Don't get in there too fast. Be patient with yourself. I think the most stressful part for this, for jewelers, is you can't see your solder. So you're just really having to know what's going on based on your flux. And if you're lucky, you can see a line of solder like I did right at the edge. So it'll flow and stop right at the edge. So that's dreamy to be able to see that, but not all the time. So clear, getting dirty, you know it's going to happen right after that. So we got that one, and then I'll let it cool and I'll pickle it, and then I can add other elements. Other times that I'll use this technique is if I want to place something in a particular way. So for example, ear backs, findings. In this case, I'm going to solder this piece of wire to this little disc, and I want to have control as far as that goes. So what I'm going to do here is pre-melt this solder onto this wire. Take two. So now my solder is sweat soldered onto there. And if it was really dark, I would probably pickle it or clean it up, but I think I'm gonna be okay. So now what I'm gonna do is heat up that disc, and I'm gonna bring in that wire until that solder flows. So this is a really great trick for earrings.